Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to look at your first object-oriented programming. And we're going to use something similar to your assignment. And what I have here is a class called Fast Food Menu. Now, when you do a restaurant, you have to create a menu, and in your assignment you had to create a menu and you had to build handlers on each one of the menu items, and print certain things and keep track of totals, keep track of end of day totals. So I'm going to show you how we would have done it in an object-oriented approach, which is for the rest of the semester you're going to be trying to build object-oriented programs because that's how Java was designed to work. Okay, now the first object I'm going to build is the fast food menu. And this is just a regular .java file like you're used to, but it does not have a main in it. All it has in this object here is a bunch of methods and variables. And what we're going to do is that we're going to call these methods and variables from the other class called test.java. And I'll kind of step you through how this all works. First, in the fast food menu, I created a variable which is called the instance variable of nTotal, which will keep track of the total for the end of the day. So this total will get updated every time someone selects from a menu. I have a method for the menu, which you probably made in your other assignment, but we're going to go ahead and print a bunch of items for our menu so the user could pick from. I now have a method for every item they may have chosen. If they chose the Big Mac meal, I would have printed out that they got a Big Mac, fries, and a drink, and the price of this meal is $3.35. I'm going to go ahead and send that to another method called sumtax, and we'll talk about that in a second. I build a method just like Big Mac for every meal on the menu. Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, Double Cheeseburger, etc. And they look exactly the same with different prices. But they all call this method called sumtax. And what sumtax does is it takes your price that you declared here, like fish, $5.50 for instance, calculates the tax and adds it to the total cost, giving you the total cost. So it prints a statement called your total is, and it's formatted for 2 decimal places, and gives you a total right here. For instance, if you pick that Quarter Pounder, it's $4.50. It would have given you a print statement of $4.40, $4.77, I believe it is, for this statement. Okay, and also the nTotal, which was the variable we declared up here to keep track of your end of the day, that will also get updated by adding the price to it. So as your day goes on, the nTotal gets updated with the new item that you selected from the menu. And of course I have an nTotal method which just prints out the end of the total for the day. Now you might be saying, oh, these are great methods and they do useful things, but how do I call all these things? Well, this is how we use the test.java class. This one actually does have a main. And as you can see here, before I go into the stuff on top here, in the main, I have a do while loop that does a switch on the choice, which the choice is what the user input is when they saw the menu. And I have it in a little case and switch depending on which selection they make. So let's take a look from the top. Now test is something you should be familiar with. It has a main, and this is something new to you. Fast food menu, which is the name of that .java file we just looked at, a name here, which is a variable name, gets new fast food menu. I want you to take a look at that and kind of break it up. This variable name McDonald's that I have typed here, its type is fast food menu. Just like int choice, choice's type is an int. McDonald's type is fast food menu. So you created a type in Java called fast food menu. And its object is also fast food menu, and you have to create that object. So you know the type, but you also have to create the object that follows. So McDonald's is a type of fast food menu, gets new fast food menu, open parentheses, close parentheses. What that does is calls the constructor of fast food menu. And we haven't talked about constructors, but constructors are used to create an object. And even though you don't see the constructor in this one, because I didn't make one, one exists. It's called a no arguments constructor. And like this one, it doesn't take any arguments in here. And by default, Java will add a default constructor if you haven't specified one to use. So keep in mind, if you did not specify a constructor for your object, Java will automatically use a default constructor that you cannot see, but it is there. That's just a regular no args constructor, and it has nothing in the body. Okay? So when we create this new object of fast food menu, it's not built into Java, so we have to create the object. We know what the type is. Create the object on the right side, new fast food menu, and now we're able to use McDonald's like we would any other variable name like choice. The scanner, we get a new scanner input. Now you notice that this is somewhat similar to what we did up here, so you should be able to make the transition between the two. Now McDonald's, when I hit McDonald's dot anything, if I hit McDonald's dot, you'll notice that every method that comes up is the methods that are in fast food menu, like Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, Cheeseburger, menu. So when I hit the dot, I have access to all the public methods that are in McDonald's. Okay, and in this case we want the menu. So in this statement, McDonald's.menu, we're actually going to call this menu method right here. I have a couple print statements to make a selection or hit enter to end the day. Choice gets the user input .next int, and I switch on choice. Now for any of the cases, which is any of the items in the menu, if they chose case 1 for instance, I'll do the McDonald's.BigMac because it's the variable type McDonald's again from the fast food menu, and when you hit the dot, I use the Big Mac method, which is here, and when I call this method, it'll print out Big Mac, fries, and a drink, pass 335 to SumTax. SumTax will calculate the total for you and also update the end total for the day. The same will go on for the other cases. And by default, case 8 actually shows you calls the end total method, which prints out the end of total for the day and makes choice 8. The default, if you hit any other number besides any of these, it'll also make choice 8 and call the end total. And since we're using the do while to see when we could end this program, if choice while choice not equals 8, it'll continue going on, but when it does equal 8, it'll break. So pretty simple way of trying to use two classes to run a program. And you can see, if you, normally before you would have had to put all of this inside of test, but now since it's separated, this particular menu, you can now use this, reuse it without having to recreate all of this again. So say for instance there was a different kind of McDonald's and they wanted to use a while loop or for loop for their menu, and maybe they don't print it every time. Maybe they print theirs every so often, or I don't know how efficient that McDonald's would be, but now if you have to recreate a new McDonald's or a different location, a different store that operates differently, they're able to reuse the same menu and handle it the same, but their procedures they can now change and use the menu over and over again. Okay, it's the point of object-oriented programming. Being able to reuse code is what makes Java so powerful. So we never have to recreate this menu ever again. If we want to change the procedures, we can. We'll just change in different classes or so on for different stores. Each one of them will perform different ways of printing the menu and collecting data from the user, but we'll be able to reuse this menu.java for every location. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.